evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, everyone. I am a little bit late. Am I late? No, I'm not late. I'm 3 minutes early. So what we're going to be talking about this evening, guys, listen, it's going to be the breaking news of the hour. Donald Trump's assassination attempt at Mar-a-Lago. Listen, before we get on to this, I just need to throw this out there. From the get-go, okay, Donald Trump was not in Mar-a-Lago. Or, you know, Donald Trump was not in Mar-a-Lago when this happened. So let's just throw this out there and let's call it what it is, a botched assassination attempt. So let me share this with you guys straight away because the world is bonkers right now. It's bonkers, it's crazy, and it's only getting worse. So this is the article I'm going from, guys, okay? Man killed after entering secure perimeter of Trump's residence, Secret Service say. Listen, let me throw this out there. What a fantastic residence that is. Like, what a beautiful building. That building there is absolutely gorgeous. Look at the architecture. Anyway, you guys are not here for the architecture. You guys are here for my real world analysis. So an armed man has been shot dead after entering the secure perimeter of the United States president's the U.S. President Donald Trump's DJT. I like calling him DJT. I think if me and DJT were friends, and we are not, but I think he would approve of me calling him DJT. So listen, let me just be quite clear on this, right? From the get-go, I need to say this, right? Okay. Is it that one? No, sorry, I've highlighted the wrong thing. The incident happened around 01:30 ET. I think that's Eastern time. No, it can't be, can it? Yeah, Eastern time. Eastern time on Sunday morning when the president was in Washington, D.C. Look, that does not mean that this was not an assassination attempt, okay? All this means that this guy here, Walkeroid, doesn't he look like an absolute... Can't you imagine him banging the drum? Donald Trump is not our man. We didn't vote for him if we can. Donald Trump is not our man. So listen, this guy allegedly broke into DJ. Listen, I'm going to give you the lowdown right real quick and then you can listen. If you guys are on the TikTok mind and you only watch for the first 30 seconds, this guy broke into DJT's, excuse me. This guy broke into DJT's Mar-a-Lago with a shotgun and a petrol can. Sorry, what does it say there? A gas can. You guys want to get some gas? Okay, we don't call it gas in the United Kingdom, do we? We call it petrol. We call it diesel. So this little bit here, okay? So at which point, in fact, let me get that spot. Hang on. The man. There we are. So the man was shot after refusing orders. Listen, you know, he's an American. He doesn't have to listen to anyone's orders. I'm an American. Yeah, and that's what happens, bitch. The only words that we said to him were drop the items, which means the gas can and the shotgun. Bradshaw told the news. At which point he put down the gas can. This is what the BBC is saying, guys, okay? And raised the shotgun into a firing position. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, this is DJT's third. Yes, unos, dos, tres. Odin, dva, tre. This is Donald Trump's third assassination attempt. Look, whether Donald Trump was in Mar-a-Lago, what do you think he was there for? Do you guys? Why would you break into Donald Trump's residence with a petrol can and a shotgun? Literally, why would you do that? Why would you do that? I don't know. So, right, listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you're joining, if you're on for the first time, and I want to reach out right now to you Americans. I want to reach out to you guys who are in America because, listen, the world right now is going, quite frankly, we are going fucking bonkers. We're going bonkers. Aliens, it's okay to talk about aliens. It's okay to talk about interdimensional beings. It's okay to have a war in the Middle East. It's okay to have a war in Ukraine. The whole world is about to go in flames. And look, I'm just sat here wanting to build spaceships. Is that a bad thing? Am I the bad person now because I want to build spaceships? And I'm like, whoa, guys, like, calm down. We're all on this planet together. Why don't we all build spaceships and make a better future for our children? No, we want war. Listen, hopefully after the war's over, we can build spaceships and head into a brave new world with broad sunlit uplands. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, I will give you guys the lowdown. And the lowdown is this. Early this morning, around 1:30 a.m. local time, which for if you live in the United Kingdom, it's about 6:30 in the morning, right? The U.S. Secret Service and a Palm Beach County Sheriff's deputy fatally shot an armed man who breached the security perimeter at Mar-a-Lago, President Donald Trump's private residence. And look, guys, let's be quite clear. It's absolutely gorgeous. That place in Florida, it's absolutely beautiful. Listen, but this is not changing rooms or whatever. Now, the suspect was identified. And look, guys, you know how I tell you? Listen, if you guys have been following me for a while, you guys know what I talk is the gospel. I'm absolutely the truth. I'm the truth. I'm the reality. I'm everything that everybody hopes to be. Look at my hair. Look at my face. Look at my teeth. And I give you the absolute truth. Nobody else does that with this hair. Nobody else does it with these perfect blue eyes. And nobody else does this with these perfectly straight, unadjusted, natural teeth. And these teeth, I tell you, these teeth, they've been munching through ribeyes. They've been munching through tomahawks. This weekend, I think we are going to do the tomahawk on the bone. I'm going to chop the bone off. I'm going to split it. And I'm going to have that marrow on toast. But listen, we are not talking about marrow on toast today. No, we are talking about DJT's third assassination attempt that he has thwarted. Now, listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you're alive right now, there is one thing that you cannot deny. The Western media, and listen, let me say this first, and then I'll come back to it, right? Rather than build it up. So the United States media called this out straight away as a white man. Yeah, they did. The United States media, straight away, they said, a white man. It was a white man who's being shot. And I'm like, oh, okay. Sounds very familiar to being in the United Kingdom. So are Western media all owned by the same companies who want to push a certain agenda? Honestly, guys, the more I look at this, the more down this rabbit hole I go. And by rabbit hole, I don't mean adrenochrome, right? So the suspect that was shot and sent to the candy shop, got spending all he got, keep going till you hit the spot. Whoa! He's been transcended to a beam of light. 21-year-old Austin Tucker Martin from Cameron. Now, that's what they're saying. That's what the media is saying. And I've got a picture of this guy. I just shared it with you guys, but I'll share it again. Why? Because I'm the Raven and I do whatever. Listen, I'm the Raven and Raven does whatever Raven wants. So this is the guy here, the alleged guy. What's his name? Austin, whatever. I don't know his name. I mean, even his glasses look gay, right? Those glasses look gay. His ears look gay. His hair looks gay. Everything about him screams out homosexuality. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with being gay. But there's a lot of stuff wrong with trying to unalive people. You just shouldn't do that, right? According to Palm Beach County Sheriff, I feel like I should be a sheriff. No, I don't want to be a sheriff. I don't want to sell myself cheap. I want to be the king of all men. Well, yeah, the king of all men. # Raven. So according to Palm Beach Sheriff Rick Bradshaw, officers confronted him, ordered him to drop the items, the gas can and a shotgun. This is the official reports, guys, okay? And you guys just saw this from the BBC. he reportedly, and we need to keep saying reportedly, right? Because we don't know what's happening. We're on a very, like, when you start talking about this stuff, if you say the wrong thing, if you don't say allegedly and reportedly, you get into a lot of trouble. But anyway, reportedly, for entertainment purposes, allegedly, he reportedly set down the fuel can, but then raised the shotgun into a firing position. At that moment, Secret Service agents and the deputy took that bitch to the candy shop and got him spending all he got. Neutralize the threat. That's what they're saying. So the Secret Service agents, guys, they didn't say, yo, we took that mofo to the candy shop. We got him spending all we got, baby. Oh, they didn't say that. What they actually said was Secret Service agents and the deputy opened fire to neutralize the threat. Kind of what you say all the time, right? You put a shitload of lead into this motherfucker. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Do you reckon three guys opening up on him? Yeah, he's brown bread. So he was pronounced dead at the scene. No law enforcement officers were injured, thank God. Body cameras were rolling, which will be key to an ongoing investigation. The FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigation, is assisting, and they are looking into whether the gun was purchased along with his drive down from Carolina. So, first of all, right, listen, guys, I'm going to say this to anyone, right? Any plastic gangster out there, you know, I don't know, listen, whatever country you're in, right? If you're in the United Kingdom, wherever, you've bought a gun, right? On the black market, right? You've got you've got a Beretta. You've got a Beretta 92. You've got a Glock 17. You've got 40. You've got a 45. What, you know? And you think you're a bad man? You think you're a bad man with your 6 rounds of ammunition? Trust me, throw that thing in a river as soon as possible, because the only place that is sending you is to the candy shop, right? You're going to the candy. You got a one-way ticket to the candy shop. Go directly to the candy shop. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Go direct to the candy shop and do not leave, right? It's fucking ridiculous, okay? I'm a tactical firearms instructor, and I've been a tactical firearms instructor 2/3 of my life, right? And I'm saying to each and every person in the United Kingdom, you don't need them, right? You don't need them. They cause more hassle than they're worth. In America, the dynamics are different. If you're in the United Kingdom, right, and you know, if you're in the United Kingdom, it's more hassle than it's worth. Do not have them, guys, okay? Trust me. If you're in America, I will give you different advice. If you're an American, I will say, buy as many of those motherfuckers as you can get. Make sure you operate within the law and learn to use them. Learn to use them. Sight picture alignment, safety catch, magazine, cocking handle. All right? You know, basic stuff, you know. Importantly, okay, let's get back to this, okay? So, listen, guys, if you're joining for the first time, yes, I am calling this is me, right? This is the Raven. I'm calling this an assassination attempt on Donald Trump. Yes, I accept that Donald Trump was not there. He was in Washington. And I said this right at the beginning, okay? Doesn't mean, listen, we all know liberals are not the smartest. You know, we all know that, right? We all know liberals are not the smartest. I mean, one of the great things the liberals do to show us they're not the smartest is they ally with, you know, the Muslim community. And that's just so ridiculous because, like, a lot of liberals are pro-gays. They're pro-bumming, right? And listen, there's nothing wrong with bumming. If you're both up to it, I'm not up for it. But if you want to bum, go and bum. So I just don't want to see that shit. I don't want to see, right? I don't want to take my kids on a Saturday afternoon into the city centre, right, and see men in leather chaps and gimp masks doing debauchery in the street. That's not gay. That's like horrible. Like that's debauchery, right? That shit should be anyway. Right, sorry, listen. Okay, I'm totally going off. Right, I'm going off the thing. Right. Okay, so a lot of the gays, a lot of the homosexuals, they're all liberals, right? Because they think that allying with Muslims is going to be a good thing. Go and look what the Palestinians do to gays off the top of buildings, right? Go and look at that. I don't know. It's up to you guys. Yeah, I'm a gay. I'm a gay for Palestine, and I want to be thrown off the top of that building. Yeah, okay. Good luck, guys. Good luck. Right, sorry. Let's get back to this, guys, okay? Because importantly, DJT with his fantastic hair was not at Mar-a-Lago. He was in Washington, D.C., having hosted the governor's dinner at the White House the night before. Security at the estate remains high. The outer cordon by local sheriffs, inner ring by Secret Service, with visitors' vehicles and bags all being screened by dogs and detectors. I think that's happening anyway. I'm quite confident that this is just like a lone doofus. However, what it shows is the dynamics, right? The dynamics of what's happening in the world right now. This comes against the backdrop of real concern. Donald Trump has faced multiple assassination attempts in recent years. There was the July, was it July? I think it was July 2020. I want to say July 24, but it might have been 25. Anyway, when the bullet grazed his ear, right? You know when the bullet grazed his ear? And there was the guy at the roof, and all the thing happened. The shooter was taken down immediately. Look, guys, if you guys want to go conspiratorial on that, that is absolutely fine. I think honestly, being able to shoot someone's ear at that distance, wind, human movements. Hey, man, I've got a little job for you. I know you're only 21, but can you go and shoot DJT in the ear? I just think it's ridiculous, guys. I think it's ridiculous that anyone thinks that somebody can be sent and deployed to shoot someone in the fucking ear. It makes no sense, right? And then later on that year, there was the guy, Ryan Ruth. I remember his name, Ryan Ruth, because he was a guy out in Ukraine. He was guy out. So Ryan Ruth was a guy out in Ukraine who got rejected from the Ukrainian military. And look, guys, back then, the Ukrainian military were taking anybody. They even offered me a job, right? The Ukrainian military were taking anyone, and Ryan Ruth got rejected. So that kind of tells you, even as cannon fodder, Ryan Ruth was not good enough as cannon fodder. However, he was found in bushes near Donald Trump. Was it one of his golf courses or something? Anyway, so there's two previous assassination attempts on DJT. This is number 3. Now, the questions are swirling. The questions are rife, and I think these questions need answering. I don't think we're ever going to get answers, but whatever. What was his motives? Was Donald Trump the target? I'm going to say he was. What was his mental health status? Because, listen, in the United Kingdom, I live in the United Kingdom, and every couple of months in the United Kingdom, yeah, I know that's cloudy, it's yeast. I'm drinking yeast-infested cider, but don't worry, it's good for you. He says, mental health conditions, right? That shouldn't be a get out of jail free card, right? Yeah, I went stabby, but I've got mental health problems. Yeah, I went rammy, but I've got mental health problems. What we are seeing right now, ladies and gentlemen, in real time is a whole new world. The brave new world that we are approaching. It's unbelievable. We are heading towards things that you listen. Earlier on today, I was going to do a video earlier on today, a prepping 101 video, right? And what I was going to do is home defense. Again, like I always do with these videos, I expand them too much. So I started thinking, right, okay, how would I protect my house? And then I understand I live in an isolated area with a very small community, and it's very easy for us to protect our houses. However, to protect our houses, we wouldn't protect our houses, we would protect our community, right? So now I'm thinking this is going to be 2 videos, okay? So this is going to be 2 videos. Anyway, so what we're heading towards right now, ladies and gentlemen, is some wild shit. I don't know why I just said that. I'm sure there was a train of thought that I was going to. But listen, as you guys know, after 5 o'clock, I start drinking beer, all right? And by 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, I've no recollection of what's fucking happening. Like, all sorts of crazy shit could be happening, and I just don't know, right? That's the reality. So listen, let's get back onto track, okay? Because lots of questions are swirling. What was this guy's motives? What was his what was the actual target? I'm saying it's Donald Trump and an assassination attempt. I don't think anybody can deny that. What was his mental health status? His family reporting him missing adds another layer. So if you guys don't know, his family reported him missing like the day before or something. And again, all this sort of stuff. And look, I don't want to go down these roads. I really don't want to go down these roads. But all this unexplained personal behavior, right? It screams to me MK Ultra, mind manipulation shit, right? You know your family. We all know our family. And look, guys, I want to be quite clear. I want to be quite clear on this, right? Okay. I'm pro-America. I'm pro-Britain. I'm pro-police. I'm pro-military. I'm pro-legal. I'm pro-laws. I'm pro-order. I'm anti-wars. I think all wars are pointless, right? I think each and every fucking war, I see this, you know, if you've ever seen young men in those black sacks, it's fucking, it's grotesque. It's grotesque. If you've ever been in a hospital where there's young men, and it's always young men, the greatest of our societies. If you've ever seen the greatest of our, do you know what, actually, I'm thinking of something now. Maybe that's another live stream. It's the greatest of our societies that go to these places. And if you've ever seen a young man in a medically induced coma and he's missing an arm and he's missing a leg and he's not woke up yet, Jesus Christ, that shit is fucking dark. It's dark. And I every morning I wake up, guys, I bless I've got all my limbs. I really do. I bless I've got all my limbs. So when I get onto this, right, I'm not one of these people who say, oh, yeah, we should do this, we should do this, we should do that. What I'm saying is we should all stop fighting and build spaceships, right? And I say that almost every live stream, okay? So what we have right now, it's a stark reminder of the heightened risk around high-profile figures in polarized times. I don't think that statement is false. Do you know, of course, you know, I think that statement is correct. And I think it's going to be correct for a long time. So we are living in absolute polarization right now. As this story develops, I will keep you guys updated. I'm going to jump onto the chat. and then I'll jump onto the BBC updates. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you're on right now, make sure you hit those buttons down below. The like, comment, follow, subscribe, bell notification. Sometimes I don't even know what those buttons look like. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, let's get on with this. So let me just update this on the BBC. Give me a second. I updated? Right. Updating now. Right, so the last update was from... Okay, suspect... Right, let me share this. So this is the latest that we have got, which is like 15 minutes old or something. Suspect named, but questions... Oh, that's what I said. Suspect named, but questions remain about motive after armed man killed at Mar-a-Lago. Look, guys, whether you're a liberal, whether you're a right-wing conservative, do not stop being violent. If you're going to be violent, right, and you are 21 years old and you think that because you have a shotgun and a diesel and a petrol can, you think you're going to be able... Honestly, it's so fucking stupid. This is a waste of life, guys. This is an absolute waste of life, right? Absolute waste of life. Let me put it to you guys, all right? If you're 21 years old or whatever, or if you've got one of those long pointy things, let me come back onto this, guys, because it's so ridiculous. Listen, guys, I just want to throw this out to a warning to everybody, because I don't like seeing anyone unalive. I don't like seeing anyone sent to the candy shop. Even my worst enemies. I don't want them to go to the candy shop. I want my worst enemies to understand that I'm right, because I am, come to my way of thinking, and then become my friend. I don't wish harm on anyone. Maybe not anyone. I don't know. Maybe a few people I would. But you, right, okay. So look, let me just put this out there. Plain and simple. If you are a young man or woman and you are planning an attack on anyone, right? Especially DJT, you are going to come up against the Secret Service. Now, you may think that your 21 years of experience sets you well. But let me give you guys some reality checks, okay? These guys who are on the Secret Service, you don't get to be on the president's team unless you are U.S. Special Forces, right? So you're 21 now, right? Okay. Do you know what those guys were doing when they were 21? They were junior commanders in high intensity infantry units. Do you know when they were in their late 20s? They were special forces operators, which means they were going to foreign countries and doing shit that you wouldn't even be able to understand, right? They know weapon systems, they know tactics, they know cover, they know all sorts of shit that you just don't know. And you're throwing yourself against them? Honestly, guys, just don't do it. Don't do it. You're wasting your life. Go to university, right? Learn astrophysics. That's my just don't do it, guys. Don't do it. Literally don't do it. Even if you want to take out Keir Starmer, don't do that, right? Don't take out anyone. Anyway, right, let me jump back onto this, guys, because it's just such a waste of people's lives. Right, let me throw this back up there. Suspect named, but questions remain about motive after armed man killed at Mar-a-Lago. U.S. Secret Service and a deputy from Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office shot. I've literally just said that. Pam Bondi in... right, okay. What a beautiful place this is. What a beautiful place it is. 50, 250. It's smaller than I thought, actually. I thought, do you know what, actually, it's not. It's like the whole side of the coast. That's huge. Caroline Levitt with a K, praises Secret Service for quick and decisive action. What do I always say to you guys, right? In any conflict, decisive action early on. What a beautiful building that is. What an absolute gorgeous building that is. Right, let me jump up. I'm going to turn this off and I'm going to refresh this and see if there's any more come out about this. Give me a second, guys, and I'll jump onto the chat. No, nothing on that. 43 minutes ago, Mar-a-Lago live. Yeah, there's not much out. There's not much else out to what I've said. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to jump onto chat. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the live stream. Welcome, everybody. So in case you missed it, we are talking this evening about the attempted assassination attempt of DJT, a third assassination attempt on Donald Trump. 1, 2, 3. 3 attempts on Donald Trump's life have been made. A man's been shot by Secret Service, and I'm giving you guys live analysis, what we know so far, and where we move on to this. Right, I'm just going to jump down. Mar-a-Lago in NC. No, it's in Florida. Lisa Jane is talking to someone else. Hertzman West is saying suspect identified as 20-year-old Austin Tucker Martin of North Carolina. So listen, guys, okay? For me, you know how I objectively give you guys my analysis, right? Not my main analysis, actually. One of my analysis points of this whole Donald Trump guy shot at Mar-a-Lago thing, right, is how quickly the media in the United States were to throw out that this was a white man. Yeah. I don't know if you guys want to connect those dots with things that have been happening in the United Kingdom, but it does seem like there is a direct, direction. I know that doesn't make sense, but there is an absolute direction of travel right now to release certain information, right? You guys know what I'm talking about. Right, I'm just jumping up, guys. I'm just jumping up against some comments. Oh, Crow is saying Crow 03690. I love Crow 03690. He's so much better. Crow 03690 is so much better than Crow 03682, because that Crow 03682, he's a bit of a swizzler. But Crow is saying offer a different view and lose friends, or life. Your parents were right about the strangers now more than ever. Right, Crow, I don't know what that means. Crow, can you give me more context? I don't know what that means, mate. Give me more context. Paul J is saying everything is inverted. If don't tell you nothing, you're fucked. Everything is inverted. I get that. Don't tell you nothing. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, J. Paul J. what I do, listen, the only thing I can think about on this is what is it? Not the ministry, the Board of Peace in the Middle East. The Board of Peace in the Middle East. That doesn't look like a Board of Peace at all. Silly Gallardi, hello Silly, how are you? He's saying, I can tell how it feels as a mother when her son is in combat. Every day we get terrible news of losing soldiers. Every time my dog barked, I thought I'm getting a knock on the door. Oh God, Silly. Honestly, Silly, listen, everybody else on the live stream right now, forget what, I'm not talking to you. Silly, I'm talking directly to you right now, okay? I understand what your mum is going through. Honestly, what you're saying right there that's what Silly's saying there right now, guys. It's difficult, okay? My mum was through the same, and she was absolutely terrified. Every time you hear somebody coming through the gate, whether it's a postman, you are absolutely terrified. And I think for everybody in the United Kingdom right now, and everybody in the world, okay, first of all, wars are bad. Wars are all bad. We need to stop all wars. We all need to live in peace and build spaceships, right? And I know that's not much. That's not much comfort to Silly. But all I can say is, Silly, that what your message right there really resonates with me. It absolutely does, because when I came back from Iraq in 2000 and the first time 2003, pretty much my mum said exactly the same. Literally, even with the dog barking, like honestly, Silly, I honestly feel that message there, and that like. I'm sending love, Silly. I'm sending love. I'm sure your son is competent. The Israeli military are one of the most competent militaries in the world. So just be proud. Just be proud. There's no other words I can give you, Silly, other than I know exactly what you're going through, because my mum went through the same when I was in Iraq. So yeah, and I hope that resonates, Silly. I really do. I hope that resonates. Right, let me jump down. Listen, guys, there's lots of comments on the chat tonight, so I do apologize if I'm not getting anyone's, if I'm missing anyone's. Right, Draft, Daughter of Christ, actually, is saying a Mexican National Guard UH-60, which is a Black Hawk, Black Hawk helicopter, was forced to return to base after sustaining gunfire damage. Yeah, look, the whole situation in Mexico right now is a little bit bonkers. You've got Mexican drug cartels with more firepower than the Mexican government. Silly, please, honestly, I understand how these things are. So I totally understand. I really do. My family have been through this, and people in the United Kingdom have been through this as well. So a Mexican UH-60. What a fantastic helicopter those things are, guys. They're a fantastic helicopter. I think Britain should buy them. However, that whole region, and look, guys, I don't know which way we go on this, but that whole region in Juarez. So there's that region in Juarez where the airport was closed down. I don't know why that airport was closed down. I'm calling BS to, I'm calling bullshit to it was drones. Whatever it was, if you guys look at the proximity to the New Mexico test site, the White Sands, the whole situation. In fact, I'm going to show you guys right now. Give me a second. I'll get this on Google Maps. Right, give me a second. Let me share this. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff happening now, guys, in the south of America, this area, right? So, oh God, what's happening? So this area, it's just taking a while to load. So the White Sands test, right? Hang on, give me a second. Give me a second. My internet's so slow today. There we are. So this area, right, was closed off by so this area was closed off. Juarez was closed off. The international airport in Juarez was closed off for 10 days. Now, look, guys, that whole gray area there, can you guys see that gray area, right? That gray area is the test flight location. I'm calling bullshit with the proximity to Juarez and the test flight location. So they said they're closing that airport because of drones going over the border. I'm calling bullshit to that, guys. Whatever it is, it's involving UAPs, UFOs, or whatever else it is. Listen, guys, I do that in the daytime, okay? Let's jump back on track, okay? Let's jump back on track. Let's jump back in reality, because right now in the United States, we are looking at the third attempt at an assassination on DJT. Now, hang on a minute, Holly. Are you saying you think the closing of the airport in Mexico was an attack? Holly, can you give me more evidence of that, please? Like, where are you getting that from, or is that just what you're thinking? Right. I'm gonna wait. I'm waiting for Holly to respond. White Sands, what's special about it, says Band again. Okay, so that White Sands region, that is a missile test facility. It's where they do a lot of testing of experimental aircraft, and you're not allowed to go there, right? It's all cordoned off. Now, a lot of places that you don't want people to go, you say it's because it's a missile test area. You say it's because it's a live firing range. And because it's a live firing range, people are predominantly not going to walk on there because they don't want to get blown up, right? Right, listen, guys, let's get back onto this, because the Donald Trump in the United States, Mar-a-Lago, there has been a breach in security. This clearly points to a few things, right? First of all, it points to the world as we know it is clearly not as safe as we think it is. Second of all, we're blinkered. We are blinkered into this consensus that things are safe. All right. If people are trying to assassinate Donald Trump in America, in his own, and look, guys, let's just be quite clear. This was so ridiculous. This was so ridiculous. This was ridiculous on such a level. I'm questioning its. I'm not questioning its authenticity, because there's plenty of mainstream media out there, but there's plenty of circumstantial reports talking about this. But I'm just questioning the mental health of these people. So whatever the motive was, and I don't know clearly, but whatever the motive was with this attack on Mar-a-Lago, which was a perceived attack on Donald Trump, can you imagine being that stupid? Well, can you imagine being in that state of mental capacity where you think that you, a shotgun and a can of petrol, are going to achieve your goals at Donald Trump's house? It's so ridiculous. You know, you have to question everything now. You have to question, and I don't mean that like there's some conspiracy, MK Ultra, Monterey Project, and they're all doing. What I'm saying is actual mental health problems now. where you wake up in the morning, right? Listen, I wouldn't wake up in the morning, right, and think, right, Sean, if I get a shotgun, I can go and take down the whole of UK Special Forces. I'm going to be able to break into number 10 Downing Street. I would never do that anyway, but you guys know where I'm going, right? You've got to understand that you are up against some of the most badass men on the planet. And when you're on the president's team, guys, you are, listen, I was in the ambassador's team in Iraq, right? Which clearly shows how much of a badass I am. But when you get chose to be on the ambassador's team or the president's team or the king's team or the prime minister's team, it's a tip, it's a tip of the hat, right? It's like, listen, mate, you're a badass. Go and look after the number one guy, because it means you're dependable. It means you ain't gonna fail, right? And then you've got these 21-year-olds in America, which, the media are reporting this guy, Austin something. I can't conceptualize this in my head. Like, what would drive that guy to do that? Did he think he was coming back from this? Did he think he was going to succeed? And to go so lightly armed as well, just with a shotgun and a can of petrol. Lots of questions need to be asked, ladies and gentlemen. Lots of questions need to be asked. Anyway, right, let me get some questions. Sean, is your rocket on the launch pad ready? Any equipped to get you back home when the shit is the fan? I don't have a rocket, guys. I have I have two helicopters and an airplane. No, I don't really. I don't have any helicopters. I don't have any rockets. Daughter of Christ is saying reports coming from Mexico. Some schools are now closed. Guys, right. Daughter of Christ, can you tell me where they are? Can you tell me where they are, please? Right, guys, I really need to go to the toilet. I absolutely need to go to a wee-wee. Most men would make it past the security. These ain't most men. Right, guys, listen, on that bombshell, I'm going to jump to the toilet because I'm absolutely needing a wee-wee, okay? Give me 1 minute, right? Can you guys do as many comments as possible, which will going to push me up through the algorithm, and then it will attract more people? Can you guys do that real quick while I go to the toilet? In fact, let me drink this because this is quite strong, guys. It's got a lot of yeast in it. I found out today that alcohol yeast has a lot of probiotics, which is good for you. So #healthy. Look at that, the state of that glass. Thanks for hanging around, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for hitting those buttons. And thanks for hitting those, putting those comments on there. Because, like I said, You guys are the best. Listen, I know I've not said this yet, but can you guys do me a real big favor? If you're on and you guys have not done so already, can you please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit those bell notifications down below. Why? Because I don't gaslight you about what's happening right now. I'm independent. I give you guys real world analysis of what's happening now and what's coming in the future. And look, guys, I scare myself sometimes with how accurate my future predictions are. Yes, I predict some wild shit. I do. I predict a lot of wild shit. But you know what? When it happens, it happens. And then everybody has to understand that the wild shit that I predict, a lot of that stuff comes real. Listen, the wildest shit that I'm predicting right now, and I'm not going to go on to this I'm just going to skim over this now. The wildest shit that I'm predicting right now is aliens. Aliens are going to be here. They're going to be here in 2029, and we are going to be told this in 2027. We are going to have an alien disclosure in 2026. But listen, let's not worry about this, because right now in the US of A, our child nation, the child nation of the United Kingdom, they're like the junior partner, right? Donald Trump, assassination attempt, the third assassination attempt on Donald Trump. Now, look, guys, I understand, and I said this right at the beginning of the live stream. Yes, Donald Trump was not in Mar-a-Lago, but when somebody turns up with a shotgun and a can of diesel or petrol, I don't know what it was, what was he trying to do? Was he trying to revoke his membership? I don't think so. I think the one reason that he was there, and look, guys, as we are in uncertain times, polarized times, the only you need to assume the worst and plan for the best, right? That's what you need to do. You always need to assume the worst. Right. Oh, hang on a minute. Somebody always talking about my yeast. There's people out there saying, "Oh, Sean, you shouldn't be drinking the yeast. You shouldn't be drinking the yeast." Right, whatever. I'm drinking the yeast, guys. I do. Shit. Are we all talking about the sheet? The sheet for swearing? Right. Oh, hang on. 4 pause. Mexico. Heavy gunfire erupts in Puerto. Oh, guys, you're fucking crazy. What's happening in Mexico, guys? There's a lot of stuff happening in Mexico. I'm calling BS to half of it. Right, let me just Google this. Mexico gunfire. So the word heavy gunfire, heavy. Hang on, give me a second. For fuck's sake. Mex. Right, 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago, we'll go with this New York Times. Mexican forces kill nation's most wanted cartel boss. Let me share this with you guys. Let me share this with you guys for a second. So, Mexico forces kill nation's most wanted cartel boss. Jesus Christ. Nemiso. Oh, Jesus Christ. I can't pronounce these words, guys. Okay. Nemisio Osgureta Caventes. Jesus Christ. Listen, I'd like to go drinking with that guy, but I don't think I'd be able to call him by his name. He was also known as El Machino. El Machino was the head of the Jalisco New Generation cartel and widely regarded as one of the country's most violent criminal figures. The Mexican government said it killed the nation's most wanted cartel boss on Sunday, today, which was what I think this gunfire is. Which is what I think this gunfire is representing. Listen, guys, has anyone watched those movies? What's God, what's it called? It's got the guy off Goonies in. What's the movie? Fucking hell. It's got the guy off Goonies. Oh, fuck's sake. Whatever. Hang on. Sicario, Jesus Christ, fucking hell. Honestly, my memory, maybe I drink too much. If anyone's ever watched the movie Sicario, right, what a fucking awesome movie that is. Like the movie Sicario, there's a scene, the whole thing's badass, right? But if you ever want to know what special forces work is like, there's a scene in the movie Sicario where they're coming to the border, they're in Mexico and they're coming to the US border and they're in a traffic jam. Honestly, that movie is so realistic, it's unbelievable, all right? That is what that shit's like, okay? And it's how quickly, and this relates back to Trump, right? This relates back to Trump. So that movie relates how quickly special forces guys deal with these like punks, like these drug dealer punks who are cartels, you know. Hey, I'm a cartel. I'm a Mexican bandit. I do this with my gun and I can take down. No, you fucking can't. You cannot take down US special forces. Hey, but I'm a gangster. I do really crazy shit. I get that you're a gangster and you do really crazy shit. But you know the guy that you're coming up against, right? They've got access to helicopters. They've got access to attack drones. They've got access to fucking satellites, all right? The guys that you're coming up against at 10 years old, when they were 10 years old, when you were still wanting to be a gangster in Mexico. All right? These US Special Forces guys that you're coming up against, all right? They were the fittest. They were the strongest. They were the fastest. They were the most aggressive in their 10-year-old bracket, okay? When they went to secondary school, guess what? They were the fittest, they were the fastest, they were the most aggressive, and then they learned to wrestle. They did wrestling at school. Then they went to college. They were collegiate wrestlers, which is totally badass, guys. It really is. It's fucking, wrestling's badass. It really is. And then when they left college, they went into the military. They went into the 101st or 82nd Airborne, right? These are the guys that you're coming against, right? So first of all, when they leave high school, you don't want to fuck with these guys, right? These are American all-time heroes, okay? They then go to the military, all right? The military break those motherfuckers down and they rebuild them. So now you've got these kids who are fucking badass, and I know because I was one of them, and the military rebuild them, okay? They say, listen, what you thought you knew, that's bullshit, all right? This is what you really know. They break them down. They teach them discipline. They teach them tactics. They teach them leadership. They teach them how to use firearms. Not just how to use firearms in the context that, oh, I can hit a target at 300 meters. No. That's bullshit. To teach someone how to use a firearm, you teach someone how to live with a firearm, how that firearm is part of them. Doesn't matter what it is, whether it's the AK-47, AK-74, M4 assault rifle, M16 variants, whatever. Glock 19, Glock 17, M9 pistol, whatever. Whatever that weapon system is, that needs to be you. And I know this sounds weird, but like most people don't understand what that means. It means, okay, yes, but Sean, you only know how to use M4 assault rifle, which is you are calling this C8, and this is bullshit. This is M4. Sean, you only know how to use M4 assault rifle, and you only know how to use Glock pistol and SIG 226, and I know how to use. Okay, then, mate. Right? Okay, I get that. Right? Give me an M4. Let me watch what fucking damage I can do with an M4 assault rifle and take people to the candy shop real fucking quick, okay? Because that's all I've known. I've trained on that. I know till failure. For me, if you give me an M4 assault rifle or a C8, whatever you guys want to call it, that is part of my body. That's part of me. I've probably slept with an assault rifle more than I've slept with any woman. I promise you that. When somebody puts a pistol in my hand, that is a part of me. I don't do this shit. And this is what I'm talking about, right? Okay. You have this situation right now where Mexican cartels, these gangsters, these wannabe gangsters are now coming up against U.S. Special Forces. There was a law passed a while ago in the United States. So these Mexican cartels, they're coming up against U.S. Special Forces. Honestly, I feel embarrassed for these cartels. I feel sorry for them. I really do. So as we are today, ladies and gentlemen, on the 22nd, and this is news from you guys, the Mexican government said it has killed one of the nation's most wanted cartel bosses today, a major victory in its new offensive against the country's criminal groups, and a move that could help reduce the pressure from President Trump, who has been threatening strikes in Mexico. Turns out DJT is bringing order, and he's bringing order to Mexico as well. Anyway, guys, listen, I know I went down a little bit of side quest there. I did. I know I went down a little bit of side quest. Right, listen, let me get these comments. Sean wasn't shooting blanks. I wasn't shooting blanks, but sometimes people took out my firing pin. They said it was just safer for everyone, or filed it down at least. Right, let me jump down. Emma Jane is saying, I was a marksman, woman, champion. Listen, okay? Everybody needs to understand right now, okay? If you go to the range on a Sunday and you can hit the target consistently, that's fine, all right? That's great. It's awesome, all right? What do you do when a man is running at you at fucking 20 meters? There's so much more to shooting than like hitting the target. There really is. Sean, when the war kicks off, can I be in your unit? I don't know. Can you get... Okay, Sean Persons, can you get to Cleethorpes? That's my only answer to you guys, okay? Okay, right, let me jump down, guys. Let me jump down. Crow is saying tactical sense is hard to learn in the field. I don't know what that means. Lisa Jane is saying, Bonnie Blue prick. I'm not even gonna. Right, okay. She's like that porn girl, isn't she? After a four, yeah. I'm not even gonna respond to that. Can I live with you, Sean? Safety. Absolutely. Emma Jane Taylor, of course. We've got lots of space at the Ravens residence. You're more than welcome, Emma Jane. Emma Jane Taylor, you're more than welcome. I can get to Cleethorpes. Listen, guys. Okay, right. Listen, we're well over time now, guys. Okay, listen. Let me bring that back. Let me bring it back down now, and then throw this back out to you for a real time #real-time fam. Okay. So the breaking news of the hour, and let me just refresh this. Give me a second. Is it that one? That one. No updates. So the breaking news of the hour. Donald Trump has survived, although he wasn't in Mar-a-Lago, another assassination attempt. This is the third assassination attempt, right, on Donald Trump. This guy has been shot. He's diddly swat, and he's been taken to the candy shop, right? What this shows is the absolute chaos in the world right now. If anyone can tell me another president that's had 3 confirmed public, there may be other assassination attempts behind the scenes that we just don't know of, right? And I would say that happens quite a lot. But we have had 3 public assassination attempts on Donald Trump. If anyone can tell me another president ever that's had that much going on. Now, the only thing I can think of is he must be doing something right, So that's what we've been talking about today, guys. Okay. Oh, hang on. We've got a super. Give me a second. Googleinos, hello Googleinos, is saying warning over China. Development of new generation nuclear weapons to be most deadly in the world. Right, I want to look at this. Right, we may be on for a little longer. China. Right, so I'm getting this now from the Mirror. Warning over China developing new generation of nuclear weapons to be the most deadly ever. Right, I'm going to read this, guys, because this is important. Now, what I'm going to say, thank you so much for that, Googleinos. Thank you so much, buddy. So what I'm going to say to this right now is, first of all, I'm going to start this by saying we should all stop wars. All wars are pointless, right? They really are. This to me sounds like the what was the was it? I can't remember what it was. The guy that died in a car crash who said that Iraq had weapons of mass destruction. Anyway, whatever. So, warning over China developing new generation of nuclear weapons to be most deadly in the world. U.S. intelligence sources have claimed China is transforming its supply of nuclear weapons to compete with the U.S. Well, I guess we need to have a nuclear war then, right? Its war supply by developing new generation of nuclear weapons. U.S. intelligence agencies have warned. So remember, guys, okay, this is like the direction of travel right now, where you slowly bring things into people's consciousness so it's easier for them to digest, right? Right, the screen's frozen. The screen's frozen. I'm going to close that down. Googleinos, right? Every time, I don't know what it is, but Googleinos, every time, listen, I know this is not something you do purposely, but every time Googleinos sends like an something for me to search, it seems like the internet closes it down. So I'm thinking, is it like, I don't know, is it something like Googleinos sends that to like, Does Google Enos send things that are specifically sensitive? Andy is saying Google Enos is CIA. Maybe he is. I don't know. Google Enos, are you CIA? Are you CIA? Maybe Google Enos is Central Intelligence Agency. Right, guys, I'm just going to jump down. There's lots of comments on the chat. Emma Jane is saying, don't worry, Narrow Mind. Aliens will save us. Okay. Either that or Project Blueprint will bring a fake, heroic situation to save everyone. Okay, listen, guys. If you guys... Look, I am going to close this live stream down very shortly. There's a lot of shit going on around aliens right now. It's all over the mainstream. One of two things is true, right? Either aliens are real and we've discovered them and we've got evidence, or they are not, right? That's the reverse speculation I've got, right? Either way, this is terrifying. I think, and this is me, if they say this year that aliens are real, okay? That means that next year they're going to say aliens are coming. If they say aliens are coming, they are going to say they are coming for humans, all right? And it's fucking crazy. I know it is. Listen, guys, I want to keep this live stream in reality, okay? I'm conscious of the time. The time's going down. The time's going down, guys, okay? So I am going to close this down now. You guys are fantastic, as always. You guys are beautiful. You're amazing. You've got the best thumbnails that I've ever seen in the world. You guys have got the best. You guys on my channel, you guys know you got the best thumbnails, and a lot of people are talking about thumbnails. I like thumbnails. Do you like thumbnails? I know I like thumbnails. A lot of you guys are saying we got thumbnails, and you guys are thumbnails, the best thumbnails I've ever seen, and we like thumbnails. We do. I'm going to be back on tomorrow, and I think tomorrow I'm going to be doing 5 hours of content because I've got my morning content to do. 10 o'clock because I'm on every morning at 10 o'clock. I'm then going to do a UFO UAP update. I've then got 2 prepping videos to do because earlier on today I said I was going to do a prepping video, right? But when I was looking in this prepping video, I was like, this needs to be 2 videos because this needs to be prepping 101, part 1, securing your home, right? Because everybody needs to secure their home. But then I was thinking like, right, okay, to secure your home, you need to secure your community. But those 2 things are not, they're different, right? Because you may not be able to secure your community. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I am definitely going to close this down now. You guys are fantastic as always. Thank you guys sending supers. I really do appreciate it. And I most honor those. I honor each and every one of you guys supers you send me. I will be closing this down now. I'll be back on tomorrow morning. I will, guys. I'll be back on tomorrow morning as I am every morning. 10 o'clock UK time, I will. This weekend, we're doing tomahawks this weekend, right? Just to let you guys know, I'm chopping. Let me give me a second. I'm going to leave them in the fridge because I can't be bothered to get them out. But we're going to be doing tomahawks this weekend. So I might do a live stream while I'm doing the barbecue. Anyway, guys, I'm going to be back on tomorrow morning. I hope to see you there. Don't be late. 10 o'clock in the morning, UK time. And then I will be back on through the day. I'm going to be doing Aliens Update. I'm going to be doing Prepping 101. I'm going to be doing another Prepping 101. And then I'm going to be doing my normal live stream at 8 o'clock. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I bid you good evening, and I will see you in the morning. TikTok to call it divide, dos padania. I can't log out for some reason. I can't log out. Right, okay, maybe I'm staying. Right, end stream. What's going on? I can't log out. Am I on?